Okay, everyone, we are now ready to begin. We're also streaming live now on our YouTube channel, so please ask your schoolmates to join us there if they're unable to get on. Hopefully in the future, we will get to the point where we will be able to allow many more students to join us on Zoom. But until then, we are making do with the technology that is available to us. To start our program on the right foot, we're now going to be inviting young Jahaziel Gray to come forward to do the opening prayer. Now, Jahaziel desires to become a pastor in the future.
Let us pray. Please close your eyes. Heavenly Father, be with Mr. Cole, be with Mrs. Simpson, be with the vice principal. Help them and help them, the other rest of children to join and help them that the internet will go good. And thank you for waking us up this morning. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Jahaziel. Wonderful prayer. All right, so we're going to be continuing with our program with the opening remarks, which will be done by Mrs. Gray.
Okay, sorry about that. We just wanted to use one device so that other persons could get a chance to join. Okay, good morning, everyone. British journalist Catherine Whitehorn once said, "Find out what you like doing best and get someone to pay you for doing it." I am pleased to see so many of our students present here this morning for the opening of our Careers Day 2021 under the theme, "I think it, I can be it." We are so excited to have you all here to participate in Careers Day. Career Guidance is a program designed to assist students in choosing the right career. This career decision then results in their social, financial, and emotional well-being. This program gives students the opportunity to see and listen to some of the many different careers that are available to them. We trust that as you watch and listen today, that your heart and mind will be open to dreaming big. Remember that hard work pays off. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Gray. Now, for those of you who do not know, Mrs. Shanine Grant Gray is one of our guidance counselors here at St. Anne's Bay Primary School. And my name is Jadine Thomas, and I am the other guidance counselor at St. Anne's Bay Primary School. To continue our program, we're going to be playing a little game. Now, this game is for everyone, and I'm going to ask Mrs. Gray to help me to identify those persons who are putting in the correct answer. Now, this is a little guessing game, and those persons who are joining us via YouTube, you can also play along. Please remember to tell your friends that they can search for our YouTube channel, St. Anne's Bay Primary School, Jamaica, and we're currently live and they will see the entire program there. So we're going to be playing a video and you're going to be getting clues to the different careers that are being shown. Now, for the video, I'm going to be sharing screen so that you can all see and participate. And it's open to everyone, both on Zoom and on YouTube.
Can you figure out who I am? I had to study a lot of math and science for my career. I have to be very healthy and in shape. I wear a special uniform. I can be found flying a lot. Without gravity, it's easy. My career often takes me off the planet. Who am I?
Is there anyone who can guess who this is? No, you have the opportunity to raise your hand, and once you raise your hand, you will be able to be acknowledged, right? Now, Mrs. Gray, who are the persons who are raising their hand? All right, so we have 24 persons who have raised their hand. All right, so let's see. Cashel Forbes. Now, Cashel, I'm going to allow you to unmute. What occupation does this person have?
An astronaut.
Excellent. Beautiful job. Okay, now many of you will get an opportunity to participate. So let's continue.
An astronaut. Can you figure out who I am? I have to keep my body healthy and strong. I compete in races against other people in my field. I wear several different uniforms. I can often be found in the water and on land. I have to learn 3 different sports. Who am I?
Okay, for those persons who are on YouTube, you can just chat, you can just type your guesses in the chat, right? You don't have to raise your hand. Okay, so I see a few answers coming in. Ashley Wallace says this person is an athlete. Zanani Roden also says that. Okay, what about the persons who are on Zoom? Let's see. I see the hand of Leonardo Harrison. Okay, Leonardo, let me hear what you have to say. What occupation do you think this person has?
It's an athlete.
Yes, he's an athlete, but he's a special kind of athlete. All right, but you're definitely on the right track. Let's see, we have Dejane King. Okay, Dejane. Who do you think this person is, or what kind of occupation do you think this person has? Okay, we're not hearing from
Miss and
Dejane.
track and field athlete.
A track and field athlete. All right, let's see how close you guys were to answering that question.
A triathlete. Can you figure out who I am? I study biology and have a passion for animals. I have fieldcraft skills which include camouflage and land and water navigation. My job requires a lot of patience and looking for the right moment. My main tool is my camera, and I have a variety of different lenses. I snap pictures of things in motion. Who am I?
Okay, now it's time to guess again. This will be our final one until a little bit later on. Now let's see what the persons who are over on YouTube have to say. Who is this person? All right, Ashley says this is a vlogger. Janelia says this is a photographer. Do we have any more answers coming in? One person says that it is a vet. That's Chrisanique Lawrence. All right, now let's see what the persons over here on Zoom have to say. I see Josiah Johnson. Now, Josiah, what kind of occupation do you think this person has? Go ahead, Josiah. Okay, we're not hearing from Josiah, so we'll go to another individual. How about Emilio Sankey? Emilio, what is the occupation that you think this person has? Go ahead, Emilio.
Photographer.
Please repeat.
Excuse me, Miss. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Can I answer now?
Okay, go ahead, Josiah.
Okay, go ahead, Josiah.
It's a zoologist.
A zoologist?
A zoologist?
Yes, Miss, a zoologist.
Not quite, but
Not
it's
quite,
a
but
bit close.
it's a bit close.
Emilio, are you still there? Would you like to answer? Okay, let's check in once more with YouTube. All right, most persons are saying either photographer or a blogger. Another person said an animal hunter. Let's see what the correct answer is.
A wildlife photographer. Can you figure out who?
Okay, for those persons who said photographer, you were the closest to getting that answer. Congratulations. All right, so we are going to come back to this activity if we have the time a little bit later on. But for now, we're going to continue with today's program. Now, coming to do the official welcome, we have a little leader from grade 1. Her name is Saloy Smith, and she will be the one who will do the official welcome. Go ahead, Saloy. You can unmute yourself.
What did you do?
Yes, we're hearing you. You can go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I am gifted with the honor of being a hospitality agent. On behalf of our principal, Mr. Trevor Cole, our vice principals, our guidance counselors, our teachers, and all students. I am happy to extend welcome to everyone. Special welcome to our guest presenters. Let us make sure to learn something new today for tomorrow. Welcome. I think it, I can be it.
Thank you so much, Saloy. Very good. A job well done. And that is the theme for today's program. I think it, I can be it. Now, there is one person who frequently encourages each of us, even the staff, to think big and to dream even bigger. And that person is our principal, Mr. Trevor Cole. At this time, I'll invite him to come to us as he'll be sharing greetings.
I'll say you can do that chat. Oh, she's so cute.
Thank you so much, Miss Thomas. Good morning, all. Good to have you today at our Careers Day. Let me do the honor and thank you, Saloy, for that warm welcome. It's good to see our leaders emerging, especially from the lower grades, and Saloy is in grade 1. Excellent job, Saloy. The guidance counselors who have been organizing and coordinating this event and are chairing today's program, our vice principals, Mrs. Chelsea Simpson, responsible for administration and support services, Mrs. Maxwell Harvey, curriculum and standards, our guest presenters, members of the senior management team at the school, our teachers, other faculty members, other members of staff, parents, boys and girls. Good morning. It is my absolute honor and privilege to host you today for our first virtual Careers Day at St. Anne's Bay Primary. I trust that you're all well and you are keeping safe. I think it, I can be it, is the powerful theme for this year's Career Day. What a remarkable, bold, confident statement. What audacity. What audacity to think that your mind is so powerful to think something and it can actually happen. But how many of us, though, really believe this? Well, whether we believe it or not, there is power in our thoughts. What we think, we most certainly become. You know, very little is known about our brains, but what we know is that whatever our minds conceive and believe, it can be achieved. Now, this statement was coined by someone that you should be familiar with. His name is Henry Ford, a very famous individual. He is the founder of Ford Motor Vehicle Company in the United States, a very popular company in the United States. And it is simply encouraging us to understand the power of the mind. It means that if you want success and you believe that you can achieve success, then it is possible. Henry Ford is encouraging us to think positively and to allow our minds to be as creative as possible. So if we think things that are positive, positive things will happen. And if we think about negative things will happen. If we tell ourselves that we can achieve something, it is likely that it will happen because we are going to put the work in it to ensure that it becomes a reality. So there is this thought of self-prophecy. So you have to prophesy to yourself that you can be this, and you are going to put in the work necessary so that you can accomplish it. I was once your age, and I remember trying to emulate my teacher because I wanted to be a teacher. And so I would go outside and I would get the strap and a piece of stick and I would beat the hibiscus plants and I would shout at them and I would follow everything that my teacher was doing. Little did I know that I was preparing myself for my career today. So you too, you may see other persons doing things and creating things and doing things, and you have developed a love for it. I'm encouraging you today to channel that energy, that positive energy, and that creative thinking into something that you can benefit from in the future. So my boys and girls, my fellow colleagues, let us think I can, rather than cannot. Let us feed our minds with positive thoughts and creative solutions. Let us see ourselves as problem solvers rather than problem makers. Let us also see ourselves as creators rather than just mere consumers. Let's think of the possibilities. So it is also a reminder that God made us special and he made us with all the faculties necessary for us to do extraordinary things. So boys and girls, you have a powerful thing within you, and that is your brain. Whatever you think, whatever you believe, it can become a reality. So today, as we celebrate our first virtual careers day at our beloved school, I want to encourage you to continue to blossom and to grow and to think of the possibilities. Think of different creation, think about doing things that you have never thought about. And as technology advances, then we realize that there are new passions and new jobs that are being created. So you can't just think about those traditional jobs, because the truth is, many of the traditional jobs, boys and girls, are vanishing. They are no more. And new jobs are being created every day. And it is because there are persons who are exercising their minds and their creativity. So see yourselves as a creator, as an inventor, and see yourself with the possibility to think, to create, and to do extraordinary things. So thank you so much for joining us today for Careers Day. I hope that this session will be fruitful for you. You will learn and you will benefit from this as you continue your journey to becoming the best that God has designed you to be. Thank you so much and have yourselves a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cole. Now, for our career day, we have several persons who wanted to be here in this virtual space to share with you. However, unfortunately, they're unable to join us. Instead, they have sent several videos just to tell you a little bit about what they wanted to become, what career they are in, and why they chose to enter their specific careers. And we're going to begin with Mr. Trevor Williams, who wants to share just what he does and why he chose to do it.
Hey guys, my name is Trevor Williams and I'm a software engineer, software consultant, and lecturer. I'm a Jamaican just like you, even though I'm overseas, but hey, IT allows me to work from anywhere in the world. That's the beauty of this profession. Now you're probably wondering, why did I become a software engineer and not a doctor or a lawyer? The truth is I actually wanted to be a doctor growing up, but then I realized that I can be anything I want to be. If you're good at something, invest in it and make it your career. In addition to being a software engineer, I also mentioned that I'm a lecturer and consultant. That means that outside of my daily job, people reach out to me and ask me for help with their own systems in their businesses. They want websites, all sorts of things. And I also lecture at Vocational Training Development Institute, or VTDI for short. Now, I've been a lecturer for years, and what I've done is to transfer all of that teaching experience and knowledge into creating my own courses and selling on my own website. That is also something that my IT career has equipped me to do. So if all this sounds interesting to you and you're thinking, I want to be a software engineer or I want to work with computers, and you're wondering, how can you get there? Personally, I attended the Northern Caribbean University where I got my formal training. It's a very good school, but it's not your only option. There are thousands of resources on the internet that can help you to hone your skills. You can do website development, application development. You can learn how to string up networks, how to put computers together. There are a number of things you can do with computers. It doesn't necessarily have to be software engineering. So if you're on your way to being a doctor, kudos to you. If you are being told you should be a doctor but you're not quite sure and you like the field of IT, then come on over. We'll be happy to have you. Hey guys,
All right, so that was Mr. Trevor Williams. And let me see, is there anyone here who wants to enter the field of information technology, IT? Raise your hands. You can also do the same in the chat, as we will be monitoring the chat on YouTube as well. All right, so we do have a few persons who want to enter the field. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to move on to another profession. And here we have a chef who is going to tell you a little bit about what he does.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Chef Nicholas. I'm a chef on duty. My position basically is to ensure that operations are run properly by way of means by making orders for groceries, making schedules, ensuring that guests are properly fed and to the right quality which they are paying for. This pandemic has affected us tremendously because we solely rely on tourism, right? And if there's no tourism coming in, then that means we have no one to feed and there's no source of income. For me, it really hasn't affected me that much, but for the regular line staff, which are cooks, they do suffer because if there's no tourists, that means there's more day off, less income, and that means it affects them in terms of feeding their families and paying their bills. I started out this career because I had a passion for cooking. And it has played out for me so far.
Okay, now is there anyone who loves to cook? All right, I see a few hands on YouTube. Okay, I see Orain, Zoria, and I also see Azalia Yuan. All right. Even O'Brien Gordon has dressed as a chef for today. Wonderful. Now we're going to move on to another profession that I am sure I've heard so many of our students saying that they want to enter. All right. Now, please pay attention. And then at the end, I want you to tell me if you want to enter that profession.
happy career day, everyone. Has it been good so far? Well, let's make it even better. My name is Melissa Flinch, and I am a student doctor, meaning I'm learning how to take care of people when they are sick. Is there anybody here who wants to be a doctor when they grow up? Let me see. I see you. Hey, I see you. Welcome. Excited to have you. So why do I want to be a doctor? I love the idea of someone coming to us not feeling well, and we take care of them and they leave feeling well again. And every day is a new adventure. It might be someone who has asthma where they're just not getting the air in, and we take care of them, and all of a sudden they're breathing well again. Or what else? It might be someone who was up in a tree and poof, they fell and they broke their arm. And we cast it, and after some time, good as new. Or it might be someone who's pregnant and the baby is about to come, and then the baby comes and the baby is delivered. Whatever is happening, we're right there and we're helping. And I love that. So if you're not sure what you're gonna be when you grow up, take your time, you'll figure it out. But being a doctor is always an option. Have a great rest of the day. It was fun talking to you.
Okay, now I see the hands, and I also see that we have a few other persons who want to become vets, and there are other persons on YouTube who are telling us that they want to enter the medical field as well. I see Roxanne Clark, Janelia Campbell, and Darian Greensword. I also see the hands of Miguel Rose, Dominic Perry, and Natasha James over here on Zoom. Wonderful. It is so good to see that our students are interested in having a bright future. Now, there are many other persons who decided to share their stories with us, but we're going to get to them in a short while. To continue our program, we're going to be having a special musical item by our very own little Patrice Brown.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship Your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing Your song again. Whatever may pass, and whatever lies before me. Let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship Your holy name. I'll worship Your holy name. I'll worship Your holy name.
Beautiful song, Patrice. Absolutely lovely. So we're going to
Beautiful
continue.
indeed, Miss Thomas. Really beautiful.
Yes, Mrs. Gray. So we're going to continue and we're going to be inviting Rain Lewis to come forward because he is the one who was chosen to introduce our first speaker. You can go ahead, Rain, but before you start, what are you dressed as today?
Scientist.
Awesome. All right. Go ahead, Scientist Rain.
Principal Mr. Trevor Cole and Vice Principals Mrs. Latoya Maxwell Harvey and Mrs. Chelsea Simpson, members of the Guidance Committee, staff, and specially invited guests. Good afternoon to you all. I have been given the privilege of introducing the first speaker for our Career Day program. Miss Rowana K. Campbell is an attorney at law and notary called to the bar in Jamaica and St. Lucia. Miss Campbell is from the Garden Parish of St. Anne and is a past student of the Prairie Primary and Infant School, the St. Hilda Diocesan High School, and the Monique Community College. At each institution, she was actively engaged in student leadership, holding up positions such as prefect and student representative. She received numerous academic awards for consistently good work and was known as a public speaker. In 2014, Ms. Campbell graduated with distinction from the University of the West Indies, Mona, Jamaica, and in 2016, she was admitted as an attorney at law in Jamaica. In 2017, she relocated to St. Lucia, where she worked with one of the best law firms in the Eastern Caribbean for over 3 years. He is now pursuing to the Bachelor of Civil Law, Master of Laws, at the University of Oxford, and is a recipient of the prestigious Oxford ID, Travel Group Foundation Bonham Carter Graduate Scholarship. She is the first Jamaican to receive this prestigious scholarship. In her spare time, she likes to cook, travel, and spend time with family and friends. One of her favorite Bible texts is Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10. Whatever your hands finds to do, do it with all thy might. Please give her your undivided attention as she comes to share her knowledge with us. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Well done,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for that kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. I hesitated just a while ago to say good morning because it's afternoon for me, so I was trying to remember the time. It's so nice to be a part of your first virtual Careers Day. As Mr. Lewis just said, my name is Rowana K. Campbell. I, like many of you, grew up in St. Anne. I spent many of my early years in St. Anne before I went to UWI in Kingston, and later I relocated overseas. Now, I want to speak with you just for a short while on a very important topic. I see your theme is I think it, I can beat, right? And I want to add to that not only do you have to think and to become, but you also have to do the hard work that's associated with it. So just to give you a background, now I am currently in United Kingdom. I'm doing my master's in law. And like a lot of you, I would have had many different careers that I would have chosen. I first wanted to be a teacher because I admired my teachers when I was at primary school. I then wanted to be a flight attendant. Obviously, that didn't work out. I think it was probably when I was 14 or 15, I then decided on law. And that came after I had done a couple courses in law, and I then went on to Montgomery Community College. Now, I'm saying this to say that you may decide on a career path that you want to take, but be open to changing, because sometimes what you initially think that you want to do may not be the thing that you end up pursuing. And so there are many different things that you can achieve. So I'm gonna share my screen with you now. And I'm trying to find the full screen option.
Go up to slideshow and you should see the option there.
There you go.
Okay, so I want to start off my presentation. It will be an interactive presentation, so I will be asking you to raise your hands to answer a few questions. Now, I want to start off by talking about I can be what I want to be if I work hard. Now, your theme is I think it, I can be it, but I also want to add in the middle that there is some hard work that you will have to do in order to become. Now, let's start off with the mindset that you must have. And I was listening to Principal Cole address to you when he spoke about, having, your mind can achieve anything that you put in it. And I want to start off with this quote that if you can dream it, you can do it. A lot of persons will tell you that, your dream is too big, you're just from the country, you don't have enough money to do that. Don't listen to all those naysayers. If you have something that you want to achieve, you can always achieve it. Now, let's start off with different career sectors. Now, these are just a few of them, so they're not all. What I want you guys to do is to raise your hand. We're going to go down the list. If you could name careers on the, let's start with sports. So if any of the students could name careers on the sports, can raise your hand. Perhaps Ms. Thomas could monitor that.
Yes, all right, so we have Dominic Perry. You can go ahead, Dominic.
What can you be on the sports, Dominic?
Could you please repeat, Dominic?
Sports.
What career can you have? What can you become doing sports?
Race.
Okay, it sounds like you said race.
A racer, that's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. A racer. Somebody else?
Miss Thomas, I see somebody from YouTube saying a footballer.
A footballer, you could be Lionel Messi, okay. Anybody else?
I see Kamona Barrett. Go ahead, Kamona.
Athletic director.
Okay, that's good. And one more, last one.
Do we have anyone else from YouTube, Mrs. Gray?
Yes, I see somebody said track and field.
Okay, so you could be an athlete or a sprinter. Okay, great. No, aviation. No, aviation deals with flight. Can you name some careers that you could engage in under aviation? Let's see.
I see Emily James with her hand up. Go ahead, Emily.
I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
You want to be a doctor. Okay, that's good, Emily. You'll be on the healthcare sector. Anyone on the aviation? Let me see. Do we have anybody that wants to fly a plane? What do you call that person who flies the plane?
Is there anyone sharing on YouTube, Mrs. Gray?
I'm not seeing any for aviation as yet.
Okay, Patrice Brown, you can go ahead.
Pilot.
A pilot, that's good. So the pilot flies a plane. Now, under the legal sector, right? Can you name some careers under the legal sector? We have any takers for the legal sector?
Daniel Hall, would you like to tell us someone who works in the legal sector? Go ahead, Daniel.
He's muted.
A lawyer?
A lawyer. Okay, so I'm under the legal sector. Is there anybody else? One more.
So I see somebody said Arvette White, a judge.
A judge, that's good. We have some very smart students here at St. Anne's Bay. Okay, there was a student who said under the healthcare that they wanted to be a doctor. Can you tell me any other profession that you could do in the healthcare sector other than a doctor?
Shadea, would you like to share?
I like to be a teacher.
Okay, but what about someone in the healthcare sector? Can you tell us someone who works in health?
Well, I see here on YouTube our principal saying pharmacist.
Pharmacist, that's good.
Leonardo, you can go ahead.
Well, I want to be a doctor.
Okay, do you know of any other persons who work in healthcare?
What about the person that assists the doctor?
I see one more, Nathaniel Brown, dentist. I see nurse.
Nurse. Okay, great. Now in entertainment, right? What are the professions, or what do you call the persons who are entertainers? What kind of professions can they, careers can you pursue in entertainment?
Okay, I'm seeing Destiny Fairclough. Destiny, you can go ahead. What is one profession in entertainment?
You can be a manager or a comedian or what I really want to be is a singer.
Good, Destiny. Good. Anybody else on the entertainment? So we have a comedian, we have a manager, a singer. Anything else?
Carleandra Pratt, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, Miss a dancer.
A dancer, that's very good. Okay, and on the education, someone said earlier, a teacher. Is there anything else that you can be if you work in that sector?
I see Terrian Paddyfoot's hand. You can go ahead, Terrian.
Principal.
Principal, like Mr. Cole. Okay, anybody else?
Vice principal.
Yes.
Okay, Mrs. Gray, do we have any other responses from YouTube?
Well, somebody just put principal. They're coming in a little bit later, so you can go ahead with Zoom. As soon as I have, I'll let you know.
Okay, let's see. Seisha, would you like to share? Well, Saisha is getting ready. I saw Destiny put in the chat. I'd love to work with the Ministry of Education.
Okay,
nice.
so you want to work at the head office. That's good, Destiny.
Yes, and I also see one here that said educational officer.
Yes.
So on YouTube, guidance counselor.
Great. So there are wide variety of things that you could do, and this is just a short list, right? Because you also have businessmen, you have many different sectors that we have not touched, right? Yeah, you even have the science sector, engineers, the scientists, and I'm sure there are many persons here that want to do other things. Now, how do you choose the career that you want to focus on, right? And I want to speak on 3 things that you can use. You can use your passion to decide, your skills, and your goals. Now, passion is basically what do you enjoy doing, right? So you can think about what subjects do you enjoy studying? Do you like maths? Do you like English language? Do you prefer numbers to words or words to numbers? Those things can tell you what you actually want, what could be a good career path for you. Your skills, that's your talent. Are you a good singer? Are you good at drawing? Are you good at public speaking? Are you good at running? Right? Those things can tell you if you, what direction you can take your life into. And your goals, right? What do you want to achieve and why? Now, many people will say that you should, they have this saying, they say you go where the money reside, right? But I want to challenge that thought because money alone will not bring you fulfillment when you're choosing a career. So of course you want to make some money, but you also want to make sure that what you're doing is something that you love, right? So one of the things when you're deciding on what you want to be when you get older, guys, I want you to think of, you should, if I had to pick a favorite out of words, numbers, visuals, or physical activities, what would it be? So you must ask yourself that question. Now, I like this quote from Michelle Obama, where she says that no matter what path you choose, I want you to make sure it's you choosing it and not someone else. And the reason why I highlighted this quote is because there are a lot of persons who sometimes in older people, your parents, they may want to choose a career path for you. And I think it's important that you choose what you want to do for yourself. My parents, they never chose a career path for me. I had to decide what I wanted to do, and they were willing to support me. And I think it's important because when I went to UWI, there were a lot of students who, their parents pushed them into law, but that wasn't what their passion was. Their passion was in probably graphic designing, medicine, and you found that they didn't do as well as the persons who were passionate about law. And so you want to follow what you're passionate about. Now, this is my favorite artist. So I want to start a quote from him. He says, "Do it for the love, when I do it for the likes. Make them know success don't come overnight. Substance over hype. We do it for love, and do it for likes." Now, who says this? Let me see who knows this artist.
Chronixx.
Chronixx. All right, good. Now, I want to highlight this part where it says success don't come overnight, right? And I think a lot of times we think that the successful people that we see, the Usain Bolts, the Chronixx, the Bob Marleys, the different people, we think that they just woke up one day and they became, and it doesn't happen like that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. And I found this quote from Usain very, very useful. He says here, dreams are free, goals have a cost. And the cost is paid in time, effort, sacrifice, sweat, and how will it pay for your goals? So what he's essentially saying is you can always dream, right? That's free. You can dream whatever you want to become. But when it comes on to becoming that thing, so whether it is a doctor, as some of you have said, or a nurse, or an engineer, or a graphic designer, or whatever you want to be, you have to put some work into it, which means that you have to do your homework when teacher gives you assignments, right? Amen. You're going to have to not play as much as you want to sometimes, right? And when mommy and daddy tells you to do your work, you're going to have to do it, right? That's how it's going to all work. Now, I want to share a bit about my journey to Oxford. So as I said earlier, like many of you, I would have studied in St. Anne. I will be very honest with you, I did not see myself at Oxford in the initial stages. No, just to give you a big picture of Oxford, Oxford is one of the best schools in the world. And the competition in terms of to get into this stage is very, very hard. And it would have meant that I would have had to study very well in order to get into this school and then to pursue other good educational opportunities. So this is what my college looks like. So I'm just giving you a picture of the place. So this is where I would go to eat and for academic support. So this is essentially my school, right? And this is our dining hall. For those of you who watch or have watched Harry Potter, I hope you haven't, but for those of you who have watched Harry Potter, you recognize this area and also this area because these were also in Harry Potter movie. So this is also me, my earlier time. So this is our uniforms on my right. This is what we wear when we have like official functions or when we go to formal dinners. They call it a subfusc, so we'll wear that to school, right? And this is me on the left, just taking a regular picture, right? Now, when you look at these photos, and the reason why I chose these photos is that when people look at these photos, this is what they will say, right? They will say, she looks like a happy person, right? They will say she's a lawyer. They'll say she's a scholarship recipient, she has a scholarship, and they'll say she's the first Jamaican to receive the scholarship. But, so that's what people see, right? But what people don't see is that behind that happy person, there were moments of hard work, right? For me to become a lawyer, they don't see the 5 years of studying that went into it, right? Remember, we said as chronic success don't come overnight. So, and if I'm being honest with you, it wasn't just 5 years of studying, it was probably 7, because I would have had to do 2 years at the Money College first, and then 3 years at University of West Indies, and then 2 years at bar school. And I'm still learning. So you can tell it's not an easy road. They will see the scholarship, but what people don't see is you have to have a good academic record, which means you have to be consistently doing well in school, right? So it's not just, the scholarship doesn't just, as Jamaicans would say, drop in your lap, right? There is some level of work that has to go into it. And then for me to be the first Jamaican to receive the scholarship, I would have had to do my best, right? When I applied here, I would have been competing with students from all over the world to get a scholarship to come here, right? And I'm saying all this to say that, when you see a successful person, and many of you listen to music, you'll have your idols or your celebrities, don't just look at the person, but know that there's something that goes behind all of that they have to put in. They have to do work. So what are the principles that I want you to leave here with? One, you must work hard, right? Two, you have to be disciplined. There are some times that you're going to want to play and you can't play because you have to do your homework, right? You have to be consistent, right? You can't be getting A's this time and next time you're getting F, right? You have to try to see as best as possible how you can stay on top of your studies. You want to be competitive, so you want to be the best at what you're doing, right? And why do you want to do that? Because you want to invest in yourself. Now, what is an investment? And I also found this very useful from someone was talking about Usain Bolt, as we all know. And it says, what is an investment? Now it says Usain Bolt has won 9 gold medals in the last 2 Olympics. And he has run less than 2 minutes on the track. That's the economy of effort, right? Usain Bolt ran for less than 115 seconds in total in his 3 Olympics, and he made over $100 million. This is US, right? That's more than 1 million for each second he ran. But for those 2 minutes, because remember he hasn't run in his entire 3 Olympics, he didn't run for more than 2 minutes in total. For those 2 minutes, he trained for 20 years. For those 2 minutes, he trained for 20 years. Let that sink in. For those 2 minutes that Usain ran. So 3 Olympics. Remember, Olympics for the sports fans, we have it every 4 years, right? So for the 2 minutes that he would have run for the total of those 3 Olympics, he had to train for over 20 years. That's an investment, right? It takes patience and it takes time. And so you're not going to become your best self overnight, but once you work, you put in work, 2, you believe that you can achieve it, you will, and you have to have the patience. Now, what happens if you have failures, right? There are going to be times when you may not get the grade that you want in school, right? You may have tried hard in studying, you may not have played, you may have followed all the instructions and you didn't do as well as you wanted to do, right? The thing that you have to do is to have a determination, right? It says, failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. So if I still push, right? Because there's a saying, if at first you don't succeed, you try and try again, all right? And remember that behind every famous person, they would have failed at some point, right? So if we look at even Usain Bolt, he would have had some injuries in his earlier career, and he had to work on being more disciplined in order to run very well. And the last thing I want to leave with you is that you can do anything. You can be anything you want to be as long as you believe in yourself and you work very hard. So students, I want you to believe you can. I want you to work hard. And I look forward to seeing many of you as future leaders, doctors, lawyers, engineers, software engineers, all those fancy stuff, businessmen. And I hope that you will all believe that no matter what, no matter your circumstances, even if you don't have enough money, you can always dream and you can always achieve. Thank you.
Well done.
Well done, Miss Campbell. Well done.
Thank you.
On behalf of our principal, vice principal, members of our guidance committee, parents, and our students present here in Cyberland, we just want to say thank you so much for such an interesting presentation to our students. I hope and trust that they will understand and realize that hard work will pay off. So it's not just achieving something, but they got to work really hard in order to achieve whatever they want to achieve. We just want to facilitate a few questions. So students, if there's any questions that you want to ask Miss Campbell, you can go ahead. Also, students who are on YouTube, if you have any questions, feel free to type it and you will get your answers.
All right, so we see Kamaria Shand with her hand raised. All right, Kamaria, you can go ahead and speak. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, what I want to ask is that how do you get a scholarship? How can I stay improved in school when I don't have fun? How can I stay focused and how can I be intelligent, or as how you are overseas in a career which somebody would really want? And how do I stay confident in when I am nervous, I am angry, and I am impatient? How do I do that?
Okay, good question.
There, Mishan.
Let me see if I can answer it. What I would say is you first have to know what you want to do, right? So what do you want to achieve? That's the first thing you need to identify. So if let's use myself as an example. When I realized that I wanted to become a lawyer, right? And I looked at my circumstances. So when I was going to UWI, the school fee was very expensive. It was over $1 million a year, right? I knew that in order to complete my studies, I needed to do well so I could get financial assistance at school to complete. And if I wanted to go further in terms of doing a master's, I would have had to do extremely well during those years in order to then get a scholarship like the one that I'm on now. So the first step is to identify where you think you want to go, right? And then you have to put in the work. You have to have the discipline. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There are times that I didn't want to study. There are many times that I wanted to watch TV, right? Julie can tell you, I love to watch series. So there are times when I wanted to watch series all day, or go to the beach, or just chill with friends. But I could not do that because I knew that if I did that, it means I would not be doing well in school, right? So there's some sacrifices that you will have to make along the way. In terms of mindset, there are going to be times when you're going to feel like, I can't do this. Like, this is too much. Sometimes when you have not seen someone in your surrounding who have achieved what you want to achieve, you may feel like it's impossible. It's not impossible. If there is something that you have dreamt about, if you dream about something, you can achieve it. It's as simple as that. Literally. The next step is just to put the work in. The final thing I would say is find a mentor. Find somebody that you look up to, who could guide you in terms of how to go about achieving things. So when I went to UWI, one of the first things I did, I found a mentor. So I found someone who was a year, I think he was like a year above me in law school, who would help me to tell me what to do, how to navigate the course. And when I came here, I also had to find a mentor and stuff. So those are some of the ways that you can do it, and you can do well.
Thank you so much. You have answered her question. Thank you so much. Ms. Thomas, is there any other question? I'm just checking on YouTube to see if there's any other question, if there's any question on YouTube.
Okay, I have been searching and most of the questions have to do with becoming whether a doctor or attaining some other profession. And there are no questions that relate directly to becoming a lawyer.
Okay, so if there's no other further question and there's no hand on Zoom that
There's
wants to
one
ask any
hand.
question, is there? Yes, I see one. And Miss Thomas, there, I think there's a hand. Could you check, please? Thank you.
Okay, I saw a hand, O'Brien Gordon. Do you still want to speak? Would you still like to speak, O'Brien?
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss. Most of the time, when I was younger, I said I want to be a pilot, and now I say I want to be a chef, and now I say I want to be a footballer. So I would decide that I want to be a footballer, like Neymar Jr. and play for Jamaica.
And
Okay,
that's very
thank
good.
you.
That's very good. As I told you guys when I started out, I had a number of different things that I wanted to do before I settled down now. So it's not unusual if you change your career path.
Yes.
And
just to, okay. Continue.
Oh, and just an advice to those who want to be a doctor, because the doctors and lawyers or schedule are pretty much very similar in terms of you're always working. So I can give a little advice there, not in detail, but there's a lot of discipline that goes into being a doctor. You have to study hard. We at UWI, they normally pair the doctors and lawyers together because of how much work that both occupations had to do. And I would say it's a lot of hard work, a lot of studying actually, because they do similarly to law, 5 years of studying at the university level. And then if you want to specialize, so if you want to be in a specific area, you then have to do further studies, which is the same thing as law. So there's also a lot of hard work there. But there's nothing that you can't do. So
As I said, thank you so much, Ms. Campbell. I thank you so much for answering their questions. And students, just to let you know, as she said before, you're very young, and even sometimes as you get into university, sometimes you still change your major. So it is okay that as you grow, you will find different things that you like, different things that you will be interested in. But as soon as you get older and decide to know what is it that you like. And even when you get older, like me being a counselor, sometimes you still want to change your profession and or switch to something else, and that's okay. All right, we're now going to be having some other video presentation from Miss Thomas. Miss Thomas, are you still there?
I seem to be having some technical difficulties at this time. And so we will have to forego that portion and continue with the program. At this time, I will invite Chikoni Rose to come forward as she'll be introducing the second speaker. The other videos will be played after the second speaker has presented. Chikoni?
Miss Thomas, I'm not seeing Chikoni. I'm going to be playing one of the video presentation until Chikoni comes on. I'm not seeing her.
Miss
Oh, she's there. Okay. So she's here.
Principal, Mr. Trevor Cole, Vice Principals, Mrs. Latoya Maxwell Harvey, and Mrs. Chelsea Simpson, members of the Guidance Committee, staff, students, and specially invited guests. Good afternoon to you all. I have been given the privilege of introducing the second speaker for our Career Day program. Mr. David Martin is an entrepreneur, multimedia specialist, and trainer. His areas of expertise are public relations, animation, and multimedia productions. He has regional experience as a multimedia production and animation trainer in Jamaica, Antigua, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He has worked with the CARSIP broadband program, the Ministry of Education in Antigua, and as a TVET instructor with Jamaica's Heart Trust National Training Agency, where he was one of the first few animation and multimedia production trainers. He has also instructed at Northern Caribbean University and the Vocational Training and Development Institute. His duties consisted of training and mentoring indigent youth from rural Jamaica. I invite you to give your full attention to digital media specialist and trainer, animation evangelist, and CEO of School Tunes Visual and Interactive Designs.
Over to you, Mr. David Martin.
Hi everyone.
Okay, you could try to unmute.
Hi everyone. How are you doing? Is everyone hearing me all right?
Yes, I'm hearing you. You're a bit low. Could you just speak up a little louder?
All right. Better now?
Yes, it's better now.
All right. I would like to get all right. I see I'm getting the co-host. I can share my screen. All right, guys, I want to apologize today. I do not have a video camera installed on this computer, so you will not be seeing my face officially live today, but you will definitely be seeing me. And what I want to do is, first of all, start out by thanking the teachers, Jodine especially, for inviting me on your Careers Day. I look forward to speaking to young people about career choices. And it doesn't matter what career it is. My preference is in the arts, but I always look forward to speaking to young people about career choices because careers can make or break your future. Your right choice of career can make or break your future. And by saying that, I mean, if you know what you're doing and you like what you're doing in the future as a career, you'll never work a day in your life. And usually we want to reach that space where we enjoy what we're doing. Because when you enjoy what you're doing and you see the benefit that it has, especially for humanity, you will recognize that, it's not work anymore. It is just fulfilling and having your dreams, coming home feeling fulfilled every evening, right? So, but if you choose the wrong career, you will feel trapped You'll feel like you're a slave. You feel like you're working for nothing. No matter how much money you're getting from that career, you'll feel as if that it's not worth it. You'll feel tired and stressed out. So it's very important for young people as yourselves to ensure that you pick something that not only that you're good at, but something that you feel like you have a calling for. And at this point in your lives, don't worry about or stress over if you're going to get the right career immediately. You can try different things. You have the time, no, from now until you leave high school. As a matter of fact, until you leave college. Some people until they get into old age in their 50s. I mean, but don't wait so long. You can try and see what you're good at and try to settle into to that dream career of yours. So do not feel pressured like, oh, we want you to be a lawyer, a doctor, or an animator right now, right? Of course, your parents gonna be a little bit edgy with you or a little bit forceful with you because they do not want you to waste your time or your life, right? They want you to start working immediately because they have to spend a lot of money, and it takes money to live in this world naturally. So there's some sort of urgency for you to learn the basics. However, while you're doing your part as a student, right, ensure that you explore all your options. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you a video on my journey, and then I will be answering your specific questions about animation and digital media. Give me a second. And when I start this, I want you to tell me if you're hearing my audio, all right? Are you guys all seeing my screen? Can you raise your hands if you're seeing my screen? All right.
We're seeing your screen.
All right. Are you hearing the audio?
Not yet. We're not hearing.
Not yet?
No, we're not hearing.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Remember, you have to, click so we can hear audio.
Okay. How is it again? Okay. No? Are you guys hearing?
No.
Not hearing.
Am I doing something wrong? Because I really want you guys to hear this part. I went into share and advanced.
Yes, down at the bottom.
Oh, share sound.
When you're gonna, yes, down the bottom you will see that, right?
All right, great. Now?
Yes, we are hearing.
Wonderful. All right, so I put this video presentation together because I wanted you guys to get an idea of a little bit about who I am and what I do and my motivations, so that we can have time to kind of go through some questions, because I know you guys will have questions when we're finished. My name is David Martin, and we are about to get animated. Let's begin. I used to teach animation, and I noticed that my students were having quite a lot of fun. So I decided that I didn't want to miss out. So instead of just teaching, I started to produce animated shorts and started to pursue animation as a business. Animation is something that I've been doing since I was very young. From I used to draw characters in my book. I used to use my textbook, the corner edges, to do flip books and flip and have these the characters move. So from a very early age, reading comics, watching cartoons, I've always wanted to become an animator. I chose animation because it is a fun and exciting career. I get to be creative. I get to make money, of course, and I also get to tell my own stories. I didn't have any official training in animation. I'm self-taught. So when I teach people, I teach them from an industrial point of view. I taught myself most of what I learned, and some of it I actually picked up while I was teaching animation to my students. I think my biggest inspiration to be an animator would be my daughter, because I always wanted to create content so that she would have something to enjoy. Off the bat, my greatest role model is Masami Suda. He's the director, producer of Fist of the North Star, G-Force, etc. Two cartoons that I really loved when I was growing up. And I actually met him in person in Jamaica. And at that meeting, he gave us some very brilliant advice in addition to his autograph. So it was a pleasure meeting him at the time, to actually meet your heroes in the flesh. If you want to become an animator, the first thing you have to do is have a good work ethic. Animation is a timely process, and what you see on the screen takes a lot of work, time and patience and resources. A lot of people think that animation is an easy thing because they are probably the artists before, but it is time consuming and often boring. But the end result is always golden, it's always satisfying to see. When you see that final production come to life, then you will understand why you want to become an animator. My name is David Martin, and we are about to get animated. Let's begin. All right, guys. So that is my story, a little bit of it. And fun fact, I'm going to just skip to a clip, and I want you to guess who that person is. It's somebody that we all know. All right, so here's a clip with two girls. And just to give you a little background, this is something that we're working on. But these two people are people that you would have known, and one of them would have presented today via video. So I want you guys to guess who those two people are. Anybody want to guess? I just want to see if you can recognize the characters. Go ahead, Marisana.
All right, so I will unmute them. Okay, I see Jahaziel Hamilton.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear your guesses.
I think Jahaziel might be a bit shy. All right, so Leonardo is next.
Anybody want to guess before I go on?
Go ahead, Leonardo.
So I should be guessing who are these two characters?
Yes, it's two people that are, one of them works at your school and one of them was a presenter. That's the clue. I think I probably gave it away.
Mm, mm, what?
Would you
Nobody?
like,
I see
all right,
six
let's
people.
see.
I see six people raise hands
The
and
one with the short hair is Jaden.
okay. All right, yes. And who is the other one?
I think that one is a bit difficult for them to guess.
All right. All right. So let me just, if once you got the first one, that's fine. One of them is Miss Thomas, Jodine Thomas, and the other is Miss Flinch, who is the student doctor that presented today, right? So basically, um, many years ago, we all went to Northern Caribbean University. I was working at the time, and they were still students. And what we did, we were working on a series to kind of encourage young people like yourself to do good things called Priorities. Now, we did a recording, audio recording, because were thinking that it would become a radio show, and I put that down for many, many, many years. Now, that was back then when I was mostly into video production and radio production. But then when I started to do animation now, I I look back on that a couple years, 2 years ago, and say, you know what? I think that know that I have these new skills. Let me animate them. So I dug up those old audio recordings, and I got the images of those three girls, three good friends, and I turned them into animated characters, and that production is still being worked on now, and as soon as it is finished, I will be releasing it, and Miss Thomas will be one of the first persons to get a copy of it. Now that just goes to show animation is fun and it is exciting, and animation also pays, right? It is something that you can do from home. It is something that you do not need a whole heap of skills to enter, because you can train yourself, because I was a self-taught animator, and it is something that anybody can do. You can teach yourself anything, especially if you have the University of YouTube. Once you are interested in a topic, it's guaranteed that there is a video on YouTube that can show you how to do it, right? The internet is not just to waste and watch movies and idle and go on social media and do stupidness. It is also a great resource for you to find information, to learn about new things, right? So the University of YouTube, especially, and I keep saying the University of YouTube because a lot of things on YouTube are training materials, especially when it comes to digital arts, drawing, painting, animation, game design, all of those things, you will realize that there are a lot of tutorials that teach you from beginner to advanced how to use a different software, how to start in the industry, how to make money from the industry, and all of those things. Right? So if you guys are have that mentality of self-learning and self-discipline, it is not hard to learn new talents. Especially, its animation is good for young people like yourself, because one, it helps you to work in a team. It helps you to focus better. It also helps you to learn to collaborate and do work online in the digital space, right? This is one of those new, it's not a new career, but because of technology animation continues to be more innovative and profound every year. And you have to learn what we call 21st century skills, right? To operate in a new global digital world with new and exciting career fields coming up every day. And animation is one of those careers that is COVID resilient, first of all, which means that when COVID came about, a lot of industries ground to a halt or stopped, especially the movie industry, because now you can't have actors intermingling and making movies anymore. So you find that it went down very much. But the animation industry actually flourished because you didn't need to have people in the same room working on a project. People could be in 5 different countries working on a project. As a matter of fact, in my company, two of my workers, they are actually in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it's famous because they're having a volcanic eruption right now, right? But two of my workers, they are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I also have people, while I'm based in St. Anne, which is my parish, which I grew up in, right? I have people working for me in Mandeville, in Kingston, etc. And I can get people to work for me as far as Canada, even as far as India, right? So there is a lot of benefits of for getting into my particular career in terms of animation. And a lot of you guys love to draw. You love to you would have seen the flip book that I had shown you in the video. A lot of you are already doing those things, right? And a lot of you are interested in probably putting out a YouTube video or creating stories, right? The greatest thing about this is that you can turn your stories into either animation or comics or games, right? You can put your own content out there for people to see and to appreciate. All right? Now, what I want to do is to give you guys a chance now to ask me any question on anything that you'd want to know. All right, so I'm looking
Right,
at.
so okay. Samuels, Georgette Samuels, I'm going to unmute you so you can ask your question. Go ahead. All right, I'm not getting through to that person. All right, the person who signed in as career, please ask your question. You can unmute. Person career, you can ask your question, please. All right, there's no question there.
I'm seeing a question in the chat.
All right, I see Lambert Lyons.
Okay, I'm seeing a question in the chat. So while you guys are getting brave to ask questions, how do you know which app to use for animation? How do you know which app to use for animation? No, it's as simple as typing into the App Store, or if you have an iPhone, the Apple Store, animation. Just type animation, and you'll see a number of apps that come up. You're going to choose, of course, if you're starting out, you want to choose the one that is free, right? Most of them are 2D animation apps. There's also an app that I like to use called Stop Motion Studio. And that is a very easy app to download, easy to learn, and it simply just allows you to take pictures of different stages of what the scene that you want to animate, and it flips them, add them together into a video. So you can actually use that to start doing stop motion animation, right? So that's very easy to download. It's called Stop Motion Studio. Of course, you also have some online options. You also have Flipperclip. That is a very well-known animation software that you can download on your phone or your tablet right away, and you can start using it. You have websites that you can do drawing on called Flip Anime, and you can just go on there, and all of these what that I'm mentioning are easy apps to use that you can, and when you go there you'll see what other people would have done and how they can guide you along the way. So that is how you know, and a lot of them are easy. All right. My channel, I do not have a channel name, but I do have a website. All right.
I think Josiah Johnson had a question that he wanted to ask. Go ahead, Josiah.
Go ahead, Josiah.
Okay. Hi, a pleasant good morning, good afternoon to all my principal, teachers, parents, and fellow schoolmates. It's my pleasure to introduce myself. My name is Josiah Michael Johnson. I am 9 years old. I am in grade 4 Scotland. My dream is to be a pilot. How to accomplish becoming a pilot is going to be hard work, determination, and lots of studying. I must, I will, and I can do it. So what am I asking you now is, with all the distractions around you, how are we going to stay focused?
All right. How do you stay
Thank
focused?
you.
How do you stay focused? Right? Now, as a child growing up in this age of so many distractions, it is very hard to stay focused, even for adults. However, the best way to keep focus is one, meditating on the Lord Jesus Christ, right? Asking Him to send the Holy Spirit to help you to center yourself and to well focus on the things that are important. That is the first thing. The next thing that you have to do is to practice, exercise, practice to to stay focused or in tune with one task at a time. Let me give you an example. If you're on an online school per se, do not have like multiple windows open, chatting to a whole heap of different people in all sorts of social media while you're having classes. That is one way. If you're in class, you ensure that class is the only thing that you are focused on. If you are studying, do not have multiple books open at the same time. Start with the topic and work on the topic step by step. Learn to itemize or categorize the things in your life. So when you, for one thing to do is to have a timetable. Your timetable does not only have what you do at school, right? You have a timetable for your day, right? So you plan and organize your day. So in the morning when you get up, you know you have to brush your teeth, sorry, wash your face, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, do your chores, right? And then you have class time. So, say for instance, during school time, you have devotion, maths, English, etc. Then you have lunchtime, etc. All right, so you have all of those written down in a format. And then when school is over, then you can say, all right, after school, I'm going to spend an hour to watch cartoons. I'm going to spend an hour to read, an hour to do my homework, and then I'm going to try to get everything done by bedtime, which is 8 o'clock, right? So that you can get your rest, right? Do not practice doing a lot of things and multitasking and so forth. Multitasking may sound good, and I'm speaking to the teachers as well. Multitasking may sound good, but when at the long run, you only end up being more stressed and more tired and less productive, right? And no matter how much you multitask, you'll hardly get anything done because you are not spending the full quality time on each item to get it done. So it's best if you just do one thing at a time, do it well, and then move on to the next one. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martin. We have other questions, so I'm going to announce the name of each person and then they will get a chance to ask their questions. And thank you for that question, Josiah. I see someone listed here as Addy. Go ahead.
Hello, good day, everyone.
Good day.
Mr. Martin, I have always wanted to be a content creator, either an animator or a youth, like a vlogger. Sir, I am very good in doing edits. Sometimes I make animation videos and I post it, but I am not getting when I post them, I don't get a lot of subscribers. I only have 157, sir. How can you have a successful business and like an animation group and still be making money?
All right, very good question. How old are you? Hello?
Let me unmute him again once he... Go ahead.
Yes, how old are you?
Yes, sir. I am 11 years.
And you said you have 137 subscribers on your YouTube channel? Hello?
No, sir. I have 157.
157 subscribers on your YouTube channel. All right. First of all, what you are doing is phenomenal, right? At 11 years old, you're creating content and you have 157 subscribers on your YouTube channel. Guess how much subscribers I have on my channel? 37. And that is by accident, right? 37. You have more subscribers than me, who is in this industry for so long, almost 20 years at 11 years old. So first thing, you are doing well, right? Second thing is you are a content creator, right? Now, there are two things that you have to understand when it comes to content creation, right? One, why are you creating the content? Are you creating the content for the sake of putting out something out there that is substantial for people to see and to enjoy? Or are you doing it for the likes, right? Or the subscribers, right? Remember, Chronic says, do it for the love, we not do it for the likes, right? Now, the reason why you have to take this into consideration is because getting a lot of subscribers takes time, right? You do not just go viral on YouTube immediately without marketing. And I want to give you a little what you call it now, a little inside industry tips. A lot of people that you see that have thousands of subscribers on YouTube, so different kinds of social media, they engage with marketing companies they pay them to make their work viral. You understand? You can actually pay to get your work viral and to get subscribers, but that is not organic, right? And by organic, I mean that they didn't come there automatically because they like the content. They came because somebody would have gave them a link and they click on it and they look at it and then they say, let me subscribe, but they don't stay. So you might have 10,000 subscribers, but only one or two or three people actually are watching your videos, right? And you can see that in the learn to use the YouTube analytics feature in your channel so that you can see what type of people that you have subscribing. Now, how do you get more people to get on board organically, right? You need to, one, put out the content, right? You also need to use your influence on the rest of your social media platforms. If you only have YouTube alone, you need to set up like a TikTok, You need to set up an Instagram, and you try to get friends, and you share, and you encourage your friends to share, and they will share if the content is good content, right? And of course, there's a lot more that goes into it than just sharing and getting. You have to put in a lot of work, right? You don't just put something out there and it become viral overnight, right? Unless it's something bad or something stupid, right? When you want to do good content, it takes a lot of work to always be marketing, always be telling people to like, subscribe, share, always be putting networking yourself and collaborating with other content creators that have another network. Sometimes what YouTubers do is, if I have 10,000 followers and you have 20,000 followers, we collaborate. That way you get my 10,000 and I get your 20,000, and you have 30,000 people looking at the same content. And some of those, both of them, some might switch over, some might not, who knows. But there is always that option to collaborate as well. And if you say you do animated content, that is good. Remember that the story is the key, right? The good story is what people are looking for. I hope that answered your question. Any more questions? Are you guys still hearing me?
Yes, we are. All right, so we have a few other persons who have their hands up, and I'm going to be allowing them. Yes. Georgia Samuels, go ahead. Georgia Samuels. We are not hearing from Georgia, so we're going to move on to Leonardo.
If anything, you can type it in the chat if this is with the mic, and I will answer in the chat in the meantime as well.
Sir. So my question was, could you have two careers? Because there's careers that I want to be. I want to be an animator and a doctor. Because when I grow up, I want to show children how to treat people, even if when they want to be doctors or nurses.
All right, Leonardo, that is a very good question. Can you have two careers? All right, so let me just give you an idea of my journey. I was trained to be I did mass communication, and my specialization is communications, which is public relations. So by right, my career that I trained for in school should be the person that writes newspaper articles and makes ads, or you'll see them on television doing press conferences like the COVID press conferences, etc., or organizing all of those, right? So that was what I was trained to do. Now I learned video production, of course, at school, but I learned video editing on my own, and I learned animation on my own. Now I am making money from the communications, and I am making money from animation, and I recently started teaching. So I am now a teacher. So I have three careers. right? So I am a public relations or communications consultant. I am an animator or multimedia production specialist, and I am also a teacher because I teach people how to do animation and among other things. So I actually have 3 careers. Now, you can have more than one career, but you have to recognize that one of them will take precedence over the other, right? And it's good to have multiple skills because in these times life is hard, and you have to have multiple skills to make money or to earn a living, right? But if you are lucky to have 3 things that you can do, or 2 things that you can do together, and they won't affect each other, fine. As a doctor, remember your time will be taken up with treating patients, right? So you can also have your free time and you use animation to teach others, because every profession has an element of it that you can teach others. Animation is a medium in which to teach others. It's just like doing videos or podcasts, or just standing in front of a chalkboard and just teaching. Animation is just a medium that you can use to teach others, right? So you can definitely have more than one careers. All right. Remember, you guys can put the question that you have in the chat, because I'm looking at the chat and I will answer what I see. Now, Miss Thomas, I have about 10 minutes left with you guys. So I will answer until the 10 minutes is up.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Martin. Cashel Forbes, and then we're going to go on to Sharika Treasure. Cashel?
Hi, Miss. I would like to say, could you be a prime minister the same and also be a firefighter?
All right, so what we're going to do is that we're going to take the questions that relate to animation or technology, and then afterwards, when we have some more time, we're going to take those other questions, all right? All right, so hold your question until then. All right, so for the persons whose hands are up, I'm hoping that your questions relate to animation or technology. You can go ahead, Sharika, if your question relates to animation or technology.
Excuse me, miss. I just want to say a little time to the teachers, to the principal, the principal.
Okay, Sharika, we're not hearing you clearly.
But I have a friend that a point that I want to say to all guidance and also.
All right, Sharika, what we're going to do is that we're going to hold the poem until a little bit later on, so that the students who have a question related to technology can ask those questions before Mr. Martin has to leave, okay? Go ahead, Nathan.
Thank you, Miss.
Sir, I would like to ask, what kind of editing software do you use?
All right, I use Premiere Pro as my editing software, right? But you have some free options out there that you can use, like Filmora, or I think one called Kino Edits or something like that, KineMaster, or Hit Film Studios. I those are the free ones that you can use, but I use Premiere Pro, which is a professional editing software.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. And Ho Heng Sang has a question as well. Go ahead, Ho Heng. Mr. Sang. All right, we're not hearing from Mr. Sang. Rihanna Davis.
Yes, miss.
Go ahead. You have your hand up. Do you have a question related to animation?
Yes, Miss.
Go ahead.
I would like to ask Mr. Martin, how important is animation?
All right. That's a very good question. How important is animation? Now, animation is a medium that is one of the mediums that is used to convey messages, right? You have different mediums, and of course, you know, radio and film, reading, all of those things, right? Animation, however, is very important because it has a very wide appeal. Every age will respond to animated content, which means no matter how old you are, how young you are, when you see something animated pop up on the screen, you're generally going to look at it. And it, no matter how old animation is, it hardly ever gets boring or repetitive, right? And as long animation has been around since the early 20th century, right? Starting from old Mickey Mouse, and it's still going strong. It's getting better, and 100 years from now, if we live to see, animation will be there. People will be flying to Mars, and when they're flying to Mars, guess what they will be watching? They will be watching cartoons on their trip to Mars. If they're going to Pluto, they will be watching cartoons on their trip to Pluto. And not only that, animation is not just about cartoons. Animation is also has other areas like visual effects, right? Visual effects, like when you're watching those superhero movies and you see them throwing superpowers out of their hands, or all of those stuff. Not only that, even movies that don't have any special, what you think don't have special effects, have animation in there, right? For example, you might be watching a movie and you think that it is shot in Jamaica, but it's not. It's shot in a studio, and they put in the animated background in there, right? Animation is used in advertising as well. A lot of ads have animation in there. When you're watching a car ad on TV, for example, and you see that car driving through that city and nobody is in the city, right? You ever notice those car ads? Are they driving through the desert? It's usually the car is animated. The car is 3D special effects. It's not even real, right? Also, going again, um, pilots learn to fly using games, simulations, or games, we call it simulations, where they're in a box, and they're seeing a video display on the screen, and everything on the screen is animated. Your phone has animated content. When you look at your smartphone screen and you touch one of those apps and you see it vibrate and it opens up and you see those little pretty things jumping up in front of you, that is animation. So animation is ingrained in our entire society, whether it's entertainment or productivity, whether it's used to teach, whether it's used to help people to learn to fly planes, or animation can also be used to teach special needs people who are probably deaf, except for blind people who can't see. But animation is extremely important in our world, and it's not just cartoons. That's something important to remember. Even when the young man said that he wanted to be a doctor, chances are when he starts going to medical school, even now, um, they use animated simulations to show how the blood runs through the body. They show how the bones work, the body work, anatomy works. So when he goes to school, more than likely when he's doing his assignments, he may have to create animations to show what his assignments are. And I'm sure a lot of your teachers right now, they're thinking about ways that they can use you to make animations to respond to their questions or to their tests, right, Miss Thomas? So that animation is extremely important, and I'm very glad to be a part of this field.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Martin. If are there any more questions? This is the last time. I'm checking YouTube to see if our students who have been having a grand time talking about following each other on social media, if they have any questions related to animation.
I can give you two more questions and then I have to go. Just two more.
All right, checking the chat here. Sharika, do you have a question that is related to animation? I see that you had written in the chat. I'm not sure how long ago that was. Please raise your hand if your question is related to animation. All right, go ahead, Sharika.
I was asking the person that who was speaking about animation that if the president if you was the president and if you want to be a doctor, if you have two career.
Yes, I believe I answered that question before in terms of having two careers. And I said, yes, you can have more than one career. Right? So that's the answer. You can have more than one career. It's just that you have to ensure that they
Okay,
complement
thank
each
you very
other.
much.
All right, one more question before I close.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Okay. So there doesn't seem to be another question.
Okay. All right. Just before I close then, I usually have animation summer camps when at the start of the summer session. So, Ms. Thomas, if there anyone who is interested in learning animation fundamentals, right, for the summer, we usually have a 2 week summer workshop for young people, primary school age, right? So if anyone is interested, you just let me know and I will send you the necessary information and the forms that they need to fill in. Because one of the things that I love doing more than speaking to people is teaching young people like yourself how to become animators. All right. So if you want to join the summer camp, no problem. And I just want to thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin, for taking your time to prepare an animation presentation and for answering the students' questions. We do hope that you will continue to evangelize using animation, sharing the good news about how great animation is. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Thomas.
Okay, students. Now, please raise your hand if you watch the news. Is there anyone who watches the news? Raise your hand if you do. What about those who are on YouTube? Do you watch the news? All right, so many hands have been raised. Okay, so we're going to be sharing a video. A friend of ours who works at TVJ just wanted to tell you a little bit about what he does as a reporter.
Good morning, I'm Shane Masters with News in for Thursday, April 29. A special welcome to viewers on onespotmedia.com. Hi, as you've just heard, I'm Shane Masters, a television producer, presenter, anchor if you may, at TVJ News, also at Jamaica News Network, JNN. Now, what is or who is a journalist? Now, a journalist is someone who goes about and tells a story of persons within the country, whatever that issue may be, whether it be a crime story, whether it be something that is fun, raising chickens, or anything of that sort. But we don't only tell stories from a local perspective, we tell it from a regional perspective and also the international scene. Now, is journalism something that you should be interested in? I think so. If you're interested in telling stories, then this is the perfect field for you because it gives you the opportunity to speak to millions at a time. Not only in Jamaica, but also worldwide. Because we also have our news packages on YouTube and some stories are posted on our Facebook pages. Now, There's something very interesting about being a producer. Not only the presenter, but a producer. The producer is tasked with the responsibility of a small team or a large team of persons. Now, on my team, I have about 3 to 5 persons on a daily basis who helps to speak to our correspondents. These are the persons who are correspondents are persons who are in other parishes in the island, and they feed us stories, and then we write those stories and bring the issues of those persons across the island to you, our viewers and our listeners. So it is something very, very interesting and something that I think that you should be interested in. So if you're interested, let me know. I'm Shade Masters. Thank you so much for watching on this year Career Day.
Okay, so we see, are there any persons who are interested in working in media or television? Raise your hands if you are interested in working in media or television. Right. Now we have so many persons whose hands are up. And let's see over on YouTube, is there anyone who wants to work in media or television? You can just raise your hands or indicate in the live chat. All right. Very good. We have a few persons. All right, we're going to move on. Is there anyone who enjoys sewing? Putting together great outfits? Well, we have somebody who wants to share just how she goes about doing that.
Good evening, Miss Lewis. Welcome to our interview this afternoon on Career. Please introduce yourself to our guests.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Camila Coombs Lewis. I'm a mother of 3 boys, 3 lovely boys. I am married and I'm a Seventh-day Adventist Christian.
Thank you so much. State what you do in terms of your career.
I'm a fashion designer, interior decorator, and anything you give me with fabric, I find a way to work with it. So I can say that I like working with fabric and I get to do various things, wrapping settee, doing lampshades, name it, I do it.
Okay, do you do cushions as well?
Cushions, curtains, spreads, pillows, pillow shams, anything.
What about wedding dress?
Wedding dresses, everything. You see, sewing is so seasonal, so this gives me an opportunity to touch everything. So when one season is slow, then whatever I get to do, I do it.
Okay. All right, thank you. What led you to choose this career?
Well, I was born. My mother said that I was born with the passion to sew, because from ever since I was a little baby girl, I used to like dressing up. So I love fashion. I like to look good. So I would get a piece of fabric and I will, make something, put in my hair, or I'll make a little dress, a little skirt, something fashionable and cute.
Okay, I see. How have your career been affecting you since the pandemic?
Well, since the pandemic, I must say that it has been good, because when it just started, we needed masks. So I had to do masks, and that was very good because I get to supply companies who needed, plus other persons.
Okay, I see. All right, my final question to you. Are you sorry or are you happy that you chose this career?
I'm very happy that I chose it because I get to work in different areas. So it is good and it is challenging at times, especially when you get something hard to do, but I like the challenge. I enjoy the challenge.
Okay, I see. And despite the fact that school is not in session, you're still occupied in doing other things.
I am still occupied doing things. I'm doing lampshades now and other things. So I'm still busy. Still have something to keep me going. All right. We thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you so much for sharing your information with our guest this afternoon. God bless you as you continue to journey in your career. Thank you for having me. Okay.
All right. So is there anyone here who wants to become a fashion designer, work in the fashion industry, or perhaps work with textiles? That means fabrics, clothing. All right. So we see a few hands. All right. Now, okay, I see your hand, Ryan. All right. So for those persons who are still with us on Zoom, if you have dressed in your outfits, in your various outfits, remember we'll be spotlighting your videos. But before we get to that, we still have a few other persons who want to share with you what they do for a living. All right, before we get to that, we are going to be guessing a few other careers. Remember to rate. All right, so I'm going to ask all the persons who have their hands raised to lower their hands. And remember to raise your hand if you're ready to guess what career is being shown.
Photographer. Can you figure out who I am? I have to be in great physical shape. I work in a cold environment. In 1998, my sport was added to the Winter Olympics. On the mountain, I ride in a half pipe, off jumps, or downhill. In summer, I sometimes use a skateboard or surfboard for training. Who am I?
Okay, let us see who wants to guess. All right, so our friends on YouTube, you can write in the chat, who do you think this person is? What career do you think they have? All right, let's see. I see Nathan Smith. Go ahead, Nathan. Who do you think this person is? What career do they have?
I think they are a snowboarder like Shaun White.
You think this person is a snowboarder? All right, let us see over on YouTube. All right, we don't have any guesses over on YouTube. Okay, let's see if Nathan is correct.
A professional snowboarder. Can you figure out who I am? In school, I studied physics, math, chemistry, and the environment. I work with large reflective panels that you can find on some buildings. My career is exciting and is a growing industry. I work to provide the world with clean, renewable energy. I spend my time researching energy and the sun to turn sunlight into electricity. Who am I?
Okay, do we have any guesses as to what this person does? Let's see, Daniel Hall. Would you like to guess what this person does for a living?
A scientist?
Well, it's definitely related to the sciences, but not quite. All right, let's jump over to YouTube to see what the other students have to say. All right, not seeing any guesses over on YouTube. Let's move on. What about Glenee Brady? Go ahead, Glenee. What do you think this person does for a living? All right, we're going to move on to. Please go ahead, repeat what you said, Glenee. Benny, please repeat.
A scientist.
Yes, it is related to the sciences. All right, let's see what kind of job this person has.
A solar power engineer. Can you figure out who I am? I went to school to learn how to make people look old, scary, and beautiful. Some of the tools I use are an airbrush, silicone, and latex. At times, I work with fake hair and monster teeth. You can find me on a movie set or in my design studio. It's my job to create the look of unforgettable characters. Who am I?
All right, so let's see who wants to guess what kind of person this is. Remember that if you are joining us on YouTube, you can just type the answer in the chat. Okay, let's see. Nikayla Poorman, go ahead.
Miss Makeup Artist.
That is correct. All right, thank you so much, Nikayla.
A special effects makeup artist. Can you figure out who I am?
All right, so before we continue with this one, what we're going to do is that we're going to look at just a few other careers, and then we are going to finish up with some more guesses as to what different careers are out there and what is happening out there in the world, okay? Now we're going to continue with our videos. And let's see the hands of all the persons who enjoy working on cars, who can't wait to drive cars. Let's see the hands of those persons who want to work on cars. All right, we see hands going up. Okay, all right, what about over on YouTube? Do you enjoy watching races? Do you want to drive? Let's look at a few persons who work on cars.
Relates to your career, but just before we start, can you introduce yourself to our guests?
Oh, I'm Reedy. Reedy's Garage.
Okay.
Great Pan, Ocherius.
Okay. Yeah. Can you tell them your name?
Oh, my name is Lawanda Reed.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Can you state what career do you do? What is your profession?
I'm an auto body repair man.
Okay, you're an auto body repair man.
Yeah.
So you do the body work on the vehicle?
Yes, I do the auto body work on the vehicle.
Okay. All right,
see, I'm replacing a bumper right here, no? Oh, this was badly damaged and I fixed this area. From the fender, let me show you. From the fender, the fender was locking up with the door there.
Yes.
And I stretch it out and repair this fender.
Yes.
And also this side of the car.
Okay.
Yes. And I get it painted back and then I'm fitting up now.
Okay, I see. All right, I see. All right, what led you to choose this career?
Because I want to be self-employed.
Oh, you wanted to be self-employed. Did you go to school to learn this trade?
Yes, I go to school to learn it.
Okay. Yeah. Even though you said that you are self-employed, At what age were you interested in fixing vehicles?
Oh, quite a while. From I was a little boy, I loved fixing vehicles. I started out from a very tender age.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I'm a professional in it.
Okay, bless the Lord. That is so great. That is so great. How have your career been affected since the COVID-19?
Yeah, I always have something to do. Always have something to do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So would you encourage other children to especially our boys to get into this career?
Yes. I would encourage them to learn a skill.
Yes.
Skill is the greatest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say your career, your profession pays well?
Yes. When you get a good job.
When you get a good job.
Not all job is paid, but when you get a good job, you can make a money.
Okay. Would you say that you are happy with your career that you choose?
Yes, I do. Excuse me.
Yes, let me just repeat that final question. Would you say that you are happy with the career that you chose?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much for allowing me this afternoon to interview you. God bless you as you continue to, fix cars. And I am so happy because I know that you do an excellent job because you did some body work on my car. Yeah. So I know for sure that you did an excellent job. May God bless you.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right, so that was a person who works on vehicles. All right, so we're going to continue with another individual who works on vehicles.
Mr. Bobby, I want to ask you a few questions as it relates to your profession, but just before you do so, please introduce yourself to the guests.
My name is Bobby Francis, and I'm a mechanic. I love fun when I'm at work. I love little peanut and water. It's a little fun when I'm at work.
Okay. All right. I heard you said that in your introduction that you are a mechanic. So I know for sure that you work on vehicles. And this evening I see that you have some different tools. I wouldn't mind you tell me a little bit about the tools that you have this evening.
Well, this is the pliers. You use this pliers to put like a water hose here. The water hose remove the radiator hose. Yeah. This can move another hose like if it's a Phillips head one.
Yes.
Okay.
So
this one you know is just a clamp. So use the pliers on it.
Okay. All right. And what do you use this for?
This is like a socket, like a 10 volt or so. It's a socket wrench.
Okay.
This is another pliers. You can open wide up to the same hose.
Okay. So Mr. Bobby, let me ask you a question. You can pull down the vehicle and take out all these things and put it up back?
You can build the engine.
Okay, you can build the engine. All right, very, very good. Very, very interesting career because for me, I know nothing about the parts of the vehicle. All right, let me find out something from you. What leads you to choose this profession as a mechanic while you were in school? What led you to this profession?
As a child growing up, I always loved motor cars. So that's the way I get my passion from. Love motor vehicles. You know? So that's the way I get the fix cars and things like that.
Okay, so did you go to school in terms of to learn about the mechanic? Did you go to any formal school or trade school?
No. At the time they didn't do that at my school. They didn't do that at my school. I learned it from somebody.
Oh, you learned the trade from somebody else. Okay. All right, let me find out something. I know that since the pandemic, a lot of persons today have been out of a job. How have you been surviving in terms of your profession as a mechanic? How have you been coping? And are you still receiving your normal income or are you still working at this time?
Well, I'm still working, yes, but I have challenge. I have challenge where you come on to the income and challenge there. But still give thanks to the little coming. That's the other still.
Okay, so do you always have a job in terms of fixing vehicles?
Well, for a week sometimes they don't do nothing.
Okay.
And next week come, we will do something.
Okay, I see. All right, let me find out. Are you sorry or are you happy that you chose this profession as a mechanic?
I'm happy.
You're happy with your profession.
I love this.
Would you encourage other young children? Well, for me, I am at the primary school level. But would you encourage other boys to learn mechanic?
Of course, I would. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any trade in general, once it's a trade, I would say yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bobby, for the time that you have spent with us this evening. Very interesting.
All right, so we're going to move on to yet another career that has to do with motor vehicles. Is there anyone who wants to work on cars, who wants to become a mechanic? Just the other day, I saw the first female mechanic that I've ever seen in Jamaica. I see Dominic's hand, and I think that is Ryan's hand that I'm seeing as well. All right. Now we're going to continue. After this video, we're going to continue with our guessing game.
Few questions as it relates to your profession. But before we go, I just want you to introduce yourself to our guests.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lance Bailey. I'm a taxi operator who flies the Ocho to Sentence Bay route.
Okay, thank you. So I realize that you are a taxi operator. Do you do anything else different from taxi operator?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm also a tour guide.
Oh, you're a tour guide. Okay. So since as you're a tour guide, tell us a little bit about your profession in terms of tour guide.
Well, it's very fun. We get to meet a lot of people. We can share different cultures. And you know, as I said, you meet a lot of people that from all over the world. You can even learn different languages from them, and you share Jamaican patois with them also.
That should be fun.
Yes, it is.
That should be fun. All right, what led you to such a career as a tour guide?
Well, as I said, growing up, to meet people, to introduce yourself to people from different backgrounds, you know, you see people and you think that everyone is different, but when you really know them, get to know them, you know that we're not so different after all.
Okay. How have your career been affected since the pandemic?
Well, the tour guide or the taxi operator, which one?
Well, both of them. You can tell us both of them.
Well, the tour guide one, well, since there's no ships coming to Jamaica, so that one, the tourism industry has gone down a little bit. A lot of the hotels have closed down a lot, so there's still tourists coming in, thank God for that. And the taxi operating, a lot of people who usually be in the tourism industry are now in the taxi operating business, so it's a bigger market in terms of there's a lot more taxi operators out there, but it's still the same amount of people that used to fly back and forth. So there's more taxi operators, but the same amount of people. So that affects it a little bit.
Okay, I see. So you're saying that it is much more difficult now as a taxi operator because persons who used to be in tour, they are now operating taxi. That's what you're saying?
Yes, it is. Even some of them who used to have Juta tours on their vehicle,
yes,
they're now turning it to route taxis.
Okay, they're now turning it into route taxi. Okay, I understand. So I can just imagine that things has been very difficult during this time. What encouragement do you have to give to our students as it relates to choosing a career? Because I am a guidance counselor at the Sentence Bay Primary School, and we want to educate our students, even though they are young. We want to educate them so that they can understand that they have to think wide when they decide to choose a career, and not only to choose a career, one career, but even more than one option, so that in case of a pandemic or other things, they have that one to rally back on. So we want to find out, what do you have to say to our students?
Students, all I have to say is that education is the key. no matter what no one tells you. Education is the key. Get yourself educated, widen your horizon, do as much things in education as you can. Don't just stick to one profession, sorry. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot make it, because once you have a good education, you can do just about anything you want to do. See, right now I'm out here, I'm operating a taxi. I also do tour guide. It's very nice, it's very fun. It's a bit difficult now because of the pandemic, but that's why you got to widen your horizon. Don't just stick to one thing. And whatever you do, give God thanks in everything and be respectful to your elders.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lance. Thank you so much for the information that you have shared with our students. May God bless you as you
Okay, is there anyone who enjoys traveling? All right, so I see that there are persons here who wanted to become pilots. Anyone else who enjoys traveling? All right, so we're seeing the hands going up. Now we're going to hear from someone who is not a pilot but enjoys traveling, and we want to hear exactly what he does for a living.
Hi boys and girls, my name is Oshando Johnson and I was born and raised in a little community in rural St. Catherine called Macatree. Now I was born and raised in a very poor family. It was very hard for my parents to actually take care of us, and there were like so many different challenges in the family. But even though we had all these challenges, I had a really big goal and a really big dream that I wanted to become a pilot. I wanted to become a pilot so that I could actually travel the world and see the different countries, try different foods and all those different things. I thought the best way for me to actually accomplish that goal would be to do my very, very best in school. I didn't actually study to become a pilot. Instead, I studied to become a software engineer. And after I was finished with my degree, then I worked at Digicel for a couple of years. And then I decided that I want to go back to university, and then I moved to Germany a couple years ago to actually do my master's in computer science. One of the best things that happened since I've been here was that I found a part-time job. And with this part-time job, I was working as a software engineer, but I could do my work from wherever I want. What this meant is that I could travel anywhere, and I could just, once I have my computer and internet, then I could actually work from that place. Now, this job was really perfect because then I was able to chase after the dream that I had of traveling the world like a pilot would do. And it has been a really exciting experience. I've been to so many different countries because I have the freedom to travel and to work at the same time. And I've met like so many different people, tried so many different foods. So the lesson from my story is that you should work really, really hard in school to do your best, because when you have really good grades and when you have a good education, then this can actually help you to have really good opportunities in life. Set big dreams and big goals. Even if people think it's impossible, you should still set them, because that will keep you motivated. And one day, just like me, you'll be able to live the ultimate dream that you've had all of your life.
Okay, now what about the persons who enjoy drawing and painting? Is there anyone here who enjoys doing that? All right, so we're seeing more hands going up. All right, so now we're going to be hearing from an artist.
I am a visual artist, and today I would like to share with you a little bit more about being an artist. Who is an artist? An artist is a person who creates painting or drawing as an hobby or profession. We then sell those paintings to make a living, or we can use those paintings to create products such as t-shirts, greeting cards, posters, stickers, or even to sell prints of those artworks. We also partake in art shows where we can display and sell our art, along with art competition in which we compete with other artists to win prizes. And it's really fun being an artist because I get to stay home every day and paint and then sell those paintings to make a living.
Okay, hopefully we have students here who are artistic and have dreams of becoming an artist or have creative abilities. All right, now we have another video, and this occupation is a little bit different from what you may be used to, but please pay attention.
And I'm a data scientist.
Hello, good day, everyone. Hope
Hi, my name is Charles Quinos, and I'm a data scientist. What do a data scientist do? A data scientist uses information, programming, math, lots and lots of math, to solve problems for big corporations that makes lots and lots of money. When I was your age, I was really good at solving puzzles. I chose to be a data scientist because I got really good at predicting patterns and using my coding skills and math to make those predictions.
Okay, we are winding down, and we only have just about 2 more professions to share with you. All right, so for those persons who are saying that they were unable to hear, this person is Charles Quinones, and he is living and working in the United States, and he works in data analytics. All right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Darren Brown, and I am a computer software engineer, and people call us developers or programmers. But what we really do is we build the applications that exist on the internet, on your devices. We come in many various forms. We have the website developers, we have iPhone, Android phone developers or mobile developers, and we have developers in all fields. We have developers in the medical field, in the aerospace engineering field. We also have developers that are in banking, in the legal field. So we're everywhere. But we are also the backbone to what makes all of these systems and industries possible. For those interested in becoming software developers, this is one way in which your work environment might look. This is how mine looks at home. I work a lot with laptops, or rather, I work a lot with computers, and so I have set up an environment that looks like this so that I can maximize my productivity.
And now we're going to move on to our final video presentation, and it will be done by Mr. Dwayne Samuels. Now, his presentation is rather long, so we'll only be sharing just about 2 minutes of it. And he is an entrepreneur as well as an IT specialist.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Samuels, co-founder at CM Logic, and I'm delighted to share my story with you today about my journey in the field of entrepreneurship, and pretty much I hope you enjoyed as well. But before we go on, my company pretty much analyzes customer feedback by replacing traditional text-based responses with video. So it's like Snapchat for surveys. When customers respond, they take like anywhere between 15 seconds to a minute, rather than spending 5 minutes on a customer satisfaction survey. We take that video, analyze the emotional sentiment expressed, and transcribe what's said to text, and then correlate the facial cues with what's said verbally, and then provide detailed analytics on that to companies. But before we, or myself, I was at this point, I went through many different companies, many different startups. So let's start all the way from the beginning. I had tremendous interest in technology and also reading. I can remember, the longest time I can remember, I've always loved reading. I love reading sci-fi. I love Star Wars, Star Trek, and pretty much that's what propelled me into this this field. I love video games. I love everything to do with computers. Started building websites when I was around 12, 13 years old, toying around on Windows XP with different things different tools you could find, and pretty much I started like my first, I would say, business by selling video games in high school. So I'd go on the internet and get like Game Boy Advance ROMs, you know, and pretty much burn them to CDs and sell the students in school. And pretty much we had a really good business going. Like at that point in high school, we had a pretty good business in high school. I couldn't afford to buy a lot of books from that hustle.
Okay, so due to the time, we won't be able to share the entire video. However, there are so many careers that are out there for you to pursue. And so we encourage you to read as much as possible, to take the advice that was given by our different presenters and our guests who could not be with us in our session, but decided to share a video. At this time, I know that there are persons who have come to Career Day dressed in their different outfits. So if you are dressed in your little Career Day outfits, you can turn on your camera. We'll just show a few of you, and then we're going to go over to Nathan Smith, who is going to be doing the vote of thanks. Okay, we're looking for our students. We're going to be spotlighting your videos. All right, so here we have Rain, and earlier Rain told us that he is dressed as a scientist. All right, and we're also seeing Leonardo. Okay, Leonardo, you have your stethoscope and your blood pressure machine. So I'm guessing that you want to become a doctor. Am I correct, Leonardo? All right, awesome. Let's see who else wants to share. We're looking for persons who are dressed based on the career that they want to pursue. All right, so we're not seeing anyone else at the moment, but I'm sure, okay, I'm seeing Josiah. Okay, there we go. Josiah is dressed in his pilot outfit. Go, Josiah, or you have to dress back a little bit, Josiah, so that we can see you clearly. All right, we see your hat and we see your necktie and your crisp white shirt. Looking good, Josiah. All right, let's see who else is here. If you want to share what you have on and I'm not seeing you clearly, just raise your hand and I'll get to you. Okay, Gavina. All right, so we're going to be sharing Gavina. All right, Gavina, I am not sure what you want to become. Could you please type it in the chat? Okay, while Gavina is typing her profession in the chat, we're looking for other students, and then we are going to be having Nathan Smith with the vote of thanks. Okay, all right, so we're not seeing any other students. All right, oh, I see Emilio. All right, Emilio, what do you want to become? Type it in the chat. Oh, Gavina is dressed as a teacher. Okay, all right. Thank you, Gavina. And thank you, Emilio. Okay, so we are going to move on to the vote of thanks. Nathan. All right, here is Nathan. You may go ahead.
Nathan, please tell us what you want to become.
I don't really have that thought out yet, but I want to be a fan of the founder of a famous company one day.
That's a great place to start.
Very good. Very good. Very good, Nathan. All right, you may go straight into your vote of thanks.
Guest speaker, Mr. David Martin, Ms. Rowanna K. Campbell, Principal, Mr. Trevor Cole, Vice Principals, Mrs. Maxwell Harvey and Mrs. Chelsea Simpson, Guidance Counselors, Mrs. Shanine Grant Gray and Ms. Judean Thomas, members of the Guidance Committee and staff, Guidance Committee and fellow students. Good afternoon to you all. Thomas A. Edison said, and I quote, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try one more time." Let me use this awesome opportunity that has been vested in my hands to extend a heartfelt thank you to our distinguished speakers, Mr. David Martin and Ms. Rowanna K. Campbell, for making two excellent presentations. Thank you, sir and madam, for your ever so thought-provoking and interesting address. I'd like to express our deep gratitude to you, to all the persons who took time to share a video presentation or participated in our interview session. I am sure my schoolmates and I will take those motivational words that you all shared with us about choosing careers as well as preparing for our future and apply them. We have been encouraged to remain focused as we work hard towards our future career goals. To our delightful audience, which is comprised of students, staff, and others, thank you very much for your unwavering attention throughout this presentation. Principal Mr. Trevor Cole, Vice Principals, teachers, and of course, guidance counselors, we thank you for the outstanding job. Well done. Thank you for your time and commitment to ensuring that the program was well executed. Students, I am sure you will agree with me that we have some of the best teachers and members of staff at the St. Anne's Bay Primary School. They have gone beyond the call of duty to ensure that they impart the knowledge and life skills to help us to ensure a bright future. And for that we are immensely grateful. Finally, I want to leave you with this quote by Mr. Walt Disney. If you can dream it, you can do it. Let us dream big, everyone. God bless you all.
Thank you so much,
Well done,
Nathan.
Nathan. Well done.
Well done, Nathan. Well done.
We know we have gone over the time that we said we would be here, but we are grateful for all those persons who were able to stop by and who were also willing to stay with us up until the very end. Thank you so much to Mr. Cole. In spite of having so many things to do, he has stayed with us right up until the end. And to all our students and those especially who decided to dress the part and were shown earlier. Now, if there's anyone that we did not spotlight earlier, we will take a few minutes while the others are making their way out of the virtual space. You will have the opportunity to share just what you had put on earlier today. I know that there are persons on YouTube who are asking how they can get into the meeting. You can still stop by just to share your outfit for the day, because we'll be stopping the live stream shortly. And you can just check your WhatsApp groups, because the flyer was sent either last night or this morning, and it has all the login information. All right, so as we await those students who are coming in just to spotlight their videos, we'll just share one final clip, a portion of a final clip with you so that we can allow them enough time.
Hi kids, my name is Eloise. I am a case clerk with the law firm Greenberg Traurig. Basically, I handle case management matters, and a few of my friends wanted to tell you about their jobs as well. The first person is going to be Octavius. He is a case clerk as well. He also handles case management matters, finding records, updating files, just basically preparing stuff so that our paralegals and attorneys have the information that they need. The second person is Shamisha. She is a case clerk as well. I just wanted to show you different people in the law firm doing the same or different things. The final person is Cameron. She is a paralegal, and she would basically collect the information that we have and that we have gathered through our client files, and then she would put stuff together and present it to the attorneys, who then present those things to the court. Hope you enjoy. Have a good day. Bye.
Hey, what's going on, kids? My name is Octavius Hines. I'm a case clerk at Greenberg Traurig in the Products Liability Division. My typical assignments are, pulling medical records for the different people who may be affected by some of the products that we're liable for. We defend a lot of the big businesses, pharmaceutical companies, toy making companies, even some scooter companies. And basically the people that get hurt, I'm responsible for making sure that we have all the information for their cases. Yeah, it's fun some days it's a lot of work. Some days, well, most days it's a lot of hard work. But every day I enjoy it. So yeah, that's me.
Hi, my name is Jamisha Lamar, and I'm a case clerk at Greenberg Trari. A case clerk typically does a lot of assisting to paralegals here at the firm. We do a lot of clerical work, gathering information, assisting with medical records, and all types of stuff.
Hi, I am a paralegal, and what I do is I manage cases with their data, their records, and all pleadings so that attorneys can argue in court.
Okay, so we have come to the end of our video presentations. Thank you all so much for staying with us, and we hope you have a wonderful day.